What up, everybody? It's your girl Daisy, the hostess with the mostest, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Canon EOS R and why I think it's still a great buy in 2021. Now, I know what you're going to say. Hey, Days, what about the R5 and the R6? Well, I got something to say about those two cameras, so let's cue up that intro and get busy. Now, this video is not going to be like an in-depth analysis of the Canon EOS R because, it's been out for a while, 2018, and I think there's more qualified people around YouTube that will, take that deep dive into the specs and do all of that, specs analysis that a lot of us love. I'm going to leave the links down in the description below to the people that steered me in the direction of this camera. So far, I think it's really been fantastic. Like I said, sold the RP. I already have the A7S III, wasn't feeling the menu systems. It's been a learning curve. Got the R, haven't looked back. One of the main reasons why I actually bought the R, and or even why I even wanted the R6, is that the RP, for whatever reason, Canon decided not to put that shutter protection thing. The R has a curtain that drops when you want to change your lenses, and I thought that that was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't know why more manufacturers don't protect their shutters. When you want to change out your lenses, I'm the type of person that when I go out, if I'm shooting like in a park or in a beach or anywhere outdoors, I very rarely change lenses outside. The lens that stays on my camera when I leave in the morning, that's the lens that's on until I come back. Unless I can run into my hotel room, switch out a lens real carefully. I always protect the sensor of my camera because, that's an important aspect, not to get any dust or, anything that might get in the sensor. So when I had first saw that the R drops that curtain and protects your sensor, I'm now much more confident changing a lens outdoors than I was when I had the RP. So that was like my number one, my number one pro. With the Canon touchscreen and the menu system, best in the business, okay? Best in the business. Sony, they still got work to do. My Panasonics, the Micro Four Thirds, while I love their small, their small bodies and easy to use, yeah, they still got a ways to go with their menu systems. If you want a menu system that works and works right, stick to Canon, baby. Again, I wanted the R6. Couldn't justify the price for maybe or maybe not having overheating issues. So again, I haven't looked back. I took some notes. So I'm going to tell you a few of the things that I really dig about this camera, right? And then some of the cons, which for me, they're not many, but I guess I'm going to have to throw them in there because, like I said, this camera was, they gave this thing like the cripple hammer. And whereas the R6, which has overheating issues, everybody's in love with that camera around here. And, like I said, I'm not going to justify $2,500 or $24 or whatever it is now for a camera that may or may not overheat in the 4K specs, right? I really don't shoot 4K, but obviously if I'm purchasing a camera that costs that amount of money, those are features that will future-proof me, right? But if I can't use them without, walking around with a stopwatch, I wanted to avoid those headaches, which is why I chose the R. So is it still worth it in 2021? I say yes, right? Obviously, you're getting Canon's great autofocusing system. You're getting a fully articulated screen. I think it's 3.69 dots. So you're getting a serious articulating screen, touch screen, and the famous Canon menu system. That's just fantastic. I mean, I can't say enough about not only the menu system, but also the Canon Camera Connect app. Fantastic. I've yet to find any of these other cameras, Panasonic, my Sony, that has an app that works flawlessly. I don't find it difficult to operate the touch bar, that multi-function bar that they added. They took out the joystick, so they added the multi-function bar. I found somebody on YouTube that showed how to work it. I've actually have it programmed for my Kelvin. So I adjust my Kelvin with it. I don't know, people were saying that their fingers were always getting in the way, and I don't see how. I haven't gone near that thing, even when hand holding my camera. Right now, obviously, I'm on the tripod because I've got the 15 to 35 RF on here, which is, if you know, doing your homework, this is one of Canon's primo lenses. But I don't have a problem with the multifunction bar. Not to mention that you could customize that for anything that you want. You can customize that multifunction bar to do your white balance, Kelvin, you name a feature and a function, stick it on the back of that multifunction bar, tell me how it works. The battery life seems to be pretty fantastic. I get maybe like, I don't know, 2-3 hours with this thing. It uses the LP6N battery, which is slightly a little bigger than what's on the SL2. And they're pretty cheap. I found, like, not OEM, but I found a good deal on Amazon. Bought plenty of, you know, the second type of line batteries. And so far, so good. I'm not having a problem with the battery. And again, it only has the one card slot. Again, everybody panned the one card slot. Okay, it was Canon's first try at the mirrorless. Give us a break here. One card slot, I mean, I'm happy with one card slot. I've never had a card fail on me. I mean, I know it's possible, but I've never had one fail on me. But I'm assuming that if you're a professional videographer or photographer, you want the redundancy of the second card. I found out that the R6 can't record from one to the other. Like, in other words, you're stuck with the one card unless a firmware update fixed that. But there's a lot of nice things on this camera that is not on the R6. First of all, besides, it's not going to overheat. If you use 4K, it's going to crop. But so what? Get a nice wide lens. I love shooting wide. The 15 to 35 is a perfect, beautiful lens if you're going to afford it. Either that or put the camera back a little bit further, you know, if it's going to crop. I mean, I never really understand that cropping business. Okay, but that could just be me. Yes, I know that if you have a full frame camera, you want to use the full sensor. Okay, but get over it. I mean, there's other cameras. There's no such thing as a perfect camera, okay? They give you just enough specs, and then they tell you we're going to come out with another one in 6 months. Think about it. If they did make the perfect camera with everything we wanted on it, why would you ever go out and buy another camera or camera gear again, right? Tell me there's not a method to their madness. But the build quality is fantastic. I love it. It feels primo in the hands. Nice feel. Feels better than the RP did. It feels more professional. I love the LCD top screen where you can change your modes. You can see your modes. So if you're shooting in a dark place, you can see exactly what you're shooting. I didn't think I was going to dig that, but I do. I've gotten to love the multifunction button, right? No problem with that. And this camera, believe it or not, is actually weather sealed. There's a difference between weatherproof and weather sealed. This has those heavy gaskets. I'm going to show you some B-roll on the side here. It has some heavy gaskets that protect it from the elements, whereas the R6 is just waterproof, right? This is water sealed, and you can tell by the gaskets, you know, when you open up your ports. Very nicely done. I'm sort of digging that. It's got built-in Wi-Fi that works fantastic. You got your mic jack. You got a jack for your headphones, right? I think they eliminated some of that off the R6. The viewfinder is the same as you're going to get on the R6. And the LCD screen is bigger than you get on the R6. So, again, while on paper the R6 does look like a fantastic camera, and you can probably shoot 1080 all day with no overheating issues, I decided to spend it on the R, right? And the money that I saved, the extra $1,000, I went ahead and bought better glass, because you know what the saying is. You marry the glass and you date the camera. So I'm going to wait for Canon to come out with a camera that doesn't overheat in any mode, right? Because like I said, My Lumix G95 4K unlimited recording doesn't overheat. Sony a7S III doesn't overheat. Why does Canon have to give us two cameras with overheating issues in 2020? I've got no clue. It's now 2021. I'm going to sit around and wait for Canon to go back to the drawing board and see what they got shooting out later this year or in 2022. For that kind of money, trust and believe, I will wait. But let's go back to more specs. 30.3 megapixels. I'm not a big photography person when it comes to my cameras. I tend to buy them more video centric. I like more heavy duty on the video side. But if you're one of these pixel, what do you call them? Pixel peepers? Yeah, you get 30.3 megapixels. So fantastic pictures. I'm going to show you some pics that I took with my daughter, some graduation parties, walking around the neighborhood with Riley. Because obviously, you know, we're just getting out of COVID and like, where are we going and what are we doing, right? So I just wanted to show you what this camera does as far as pictures. But so far, so good. I'm digging what I see. And I also tend to buy my cameras that, you know, most of the work is done straight out of the camera. I don't color grade. I don't do C-Log, S-Log, V-Log. All my cameras have that capability. I'm taking a class now, an Adobe class, so I'm hoping to step up my game and learn how to color grade. But for the most part, I don't got time for that. I want my videos to come out pretty decent out of the box. I can tweak a few flubs. And as long as you can hear me and see me and my lighting is okay, I think I'm done, right? But if you like that color grading stuff, this does come with the C-Log, right? You get 4K, 24 frames and 30 frames, right? 8-bit internal recording, 10-bit external if you've got one of those Atmos Ninja things, right? And then obviously, you know, that touch bar, which everybody panned, but like I said, I've got it set to Kelvin, haven't looked back. But yeah, I think it's a fantastic camera. I mean, if you're looking for the cons, I guess it would be that there's no built-in IBIS. I tend to always buy my lenses with image stabilization, IS. All my lenses are IS. I started with the SL2. All my lenses are image stabilized. I don't buy lenses that are not image stabilized. So this image stabilized lens coupled with the electronic stabilization that the camera offers, I took it down to Manhattan a couple of weeks ago. When was it? A couple of months ago for Mother's Day. Me and my daughter riding around a pothole-filled New York City down in Harlem. And the camera did pretty good. I'll roll some video so you can see it. We were bumping and moving and shaking all over the place, and I got pretty decent footage in New York City, pothole-ridden, rainy day. So you'll be able to see that along with the pictures that I took. But I'm thinking that this camera, truth be told, until Canon comes to their senses and does a better job with giving us a camera that's not going to overheat, I'm going to stick with the R till Canon comes out with a better camera, right? Because it is what it is, but again, this is my opinion only. But technically speaking, those are some of the cons that I put on here. The battery life is great. You know, the body feels good in the hand. It feels primo. I don't have a problem with it. And one other thing that I got to say, guys, is that the EOS R gives you options that the R6 doesn't give you. What I'm talking about is you can film in two different codecs. You can film in all I or IPB, right? And so for every frame rate, you get a choice of filming all I IPB. With the R6, it's only IPB. So Canon even took away our choices. How do they know what kind of computer system we have and if it's going to be able to handle IPB all the time? I like options. And the EOS R gives you a hell of a lot more options than the R6. And I don't have to worry about it, you know, blowing up and being down for 2 hours if I use the 4K specs, right? So since I'm not a big 4K shooter anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. When I want to shoot in 4K, basically speaking, I'll shoot wide, push the camera back, press record, and there you go. But other than that, guys, I think it's a pretty decent camera. I'm gotta say, I'm happy with it. I like what I'm getting out of the camera. And if you're looking to invest and buy something in 2021 and you don't want to deal with the R5 or the R6 due to the overheating issues, then stick with the R. You can get it used for about $1,200. I bought this one used on KEH. Shout out to Mark over there, who always, does a good job. And I traded the RP. They gave me practically all my money back for the RP and 2 lenses. I think I came out of pocket $200 for this. If you buy it new, it's still running about $1,700. When this camera first came out in 2018, I think it was about $2,200. So it's dropped about $400, but $1,700 is not a cheap camera. So it's held its price pretty decently, but I've seen them between $1,200 and $1,500 used. Go over to KEH and see if they've got them. I think the other day they had 2 of them for around $1,500. I think one was $1,400 in like new condition. I bought this used, but in like new condition. Not bad. Not bad for the price. And I've got my little shutter thing, which is what I really wanted. And I've been very, very happy with it. But other than that, you're getting everything that a Primo camera should have. Obviously only a single SD card slot, right? But you're getting HDMI. You're getting USB-C. You're getting a mic and a headphone jack, right? You're getting the familiar Canon menu system, which I love, right? And like I said, it's I'm looking over my notes here of everything I've been writing down as far as what I love and hate about it. I don't really have too much stuff that I hate about it. Truth be told, if you're looking to stick with Canon in 2021, I think the R is still your best bet until Canon makes a camera that no overheating issues are in the, you have to go to the Canon site. Like I said, I went over to the Canon site, and let me just show you here, guys, because I've got it in my notes. And yeah, this is the Canon usage. And it tells you how many minutes you can shoot. And you got to turn it off, turn it on. This is for the R5 and the R6. I mean, come on now. In 2021, who wants that? When there's other camera manufacturers that you don't got to go through this overheating crap. I can shoot with the Sony a7S III all day. Now, when I finally figure out the menu and the menu systems, I'll probably be more familiar and be, better equipped to handle that camera. It's a really learning curve. But I love the Canon EOS R. I'm recommending you guys, if you're looking for a camera, still in 2021, and you don't want to deal with overheating issues, go ahead and get the R. Trust me, you're gonna love it. So I think that's it, guys. I'm gonna be doing other videos. I'm reviewing or doing the unboxing of the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II, which is my new cell phone. So that's coming down the pipe. So definitely watch out for more videos. Don't forget to hit the like button below and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And I'll see you on the next episode of Daisy's World. Ciao.